All right, guys, we're going to talk about one of your favorite topics, Starfield, and its declining user base. I think, I'm really not sure. I'm not really sure what I make of Starfield. I know nobody's really talking about it anymore other than to make fun of how badly it floundered at launch. Now, there have been other games that have floundered at launch, and they were a laughing stock, and then they eventually turned it around. I'm looking at Cyberpunk 2077. I'm looking at No Man's Sky, just to name a few. So maybe Starfield will get better. Of course, some modders said they're not going to touch it. They don't care. They're done with it. A lot of players said they're done with it. They're not interested in the game. Now, if people do go in and fix it, whether it's Bethesda or modders, they could turn around in a couple of years, but we'll see. Well, according to Niche Gamer, Starfield's player base has plummeted 90% in 4 months. Now, I know that a lot of people are using Game Pass to play it, and it's very popular there, and it actually is pretty popular on Steam. They revealed their most played games of 2023, according to Game Rant, and in the Platinum tier, over 300,000 peak players, we have Starfield. We're up there with, PUBG, Sons of the Forest, Hogwarts Legacy, oh my God, Hogwarts Legacy, Dota, Counter-Strike 2, Baldur's Gate, Apex Legends. So it's up there. But let's talk about this. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more gaming news here on Clownfish Gaming. Again, this is coming from Niche Gamer. Starfield player base plummets 90% in 4 months, 90%. A thread on Reddit reveals that Starfield's all-time peak was 723 players about 4 months ago, and that the current active player count is now a measly 14,000. 10,000 at the time of this writing. Now, this is again on Steam, right? On Steam. The user also compared these statistics with Bethesda's previous RPGs, Fallout 4 and The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Skyrim is the game that never dies, both of which are more than 5 years old and still have a higher active player count. It's usually common for games to lose active players over time, especially when they're single player and players finish the game, or if it's not to their taste. However, to lose 90% of players in 4 months can be considered disastrous when you consider how much money was invested into this game. Despite the mixed reception, Bethesda is quite hopeful the game will become a hit like Skyrim and have more content updates coming out, right? So it's possible they could fix it. But this isn't great. This isn't great for them, And again, nobody is really talking about it. I know Squid King is playing it. He said it's not bad. It's like the best mid-game ever. But of course, he was also colossally disappointed in No Man's Sky when it first came out. And now that they've fixed it, after many, many updates, he's like, it's like one of the best games out there. It just took them like 8 years to fix it. Some of the comments here: the game got boring quick. I dropped it after about 8 hours. One of the few times wokeism didn't bother me in a modern game. It just got boring. Yeah, a lot of people said that they weren't, they were making a big deal out of the pronoun issue. I just heard the game was boring. I haven't played it. I don't want to invest that kind of time into a boring ass game. I really don't. But I've heard it's a lot of people are like, there's not much to do. There really isn't much to do. But then again, No Man's Sky was that way too. It just took 8 years to fix it. Are people going to stick around for 8 years? I don't know. Now, I'm sure it's doing really well on Xbox. Every person I've ever met with anything remotely like this says it's just a complete piece of shit. That's just the tip of the iceberg. This person says they gave up on AAA gaming. Is this real or just Photoshop for fun? It's real. I just looked it up. This person says, I wager a lot of current year product has a very limited cultural shelf life. Well, that's the thing. Will people wait for them to fix it, or are they going to move on to the next thing? Won't have a lot of longevity in the future since it all feels samey. It doesn't have any distinctiveness. I don't think people in 10 to 20 years will look back or pine for a lot of current year entertainment and franchises. I agree with that. I think there's nothing really special about a lot of the stuff that's coming out, especially the AAA titles. They're all very samey, and of course they have a lot of the same people working on a lot of the same script writers, But they're not nostalgic for things like they were from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s or older. There will be just as many remasters and reboots of that stuff coming out now, bar a few exceptions. As you're observing, there's still a lot more people playing Skyrim from 2011 or Bethesda Fallout in the year of release of their newest game. That's weird. It is a little weird. Steam also had stats indicating that under 10% of games Steam users played this year were released in 2023 in the first place. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, a lot of people are still playing old games. So this is Automation Media. I don't know. This was posted a couple days ago. Steam says the average user only played 4 games in 2023. What does this actually mean? It means that a lot of people, they play kind of their main game, a couple of games, and that's it. I mean, people make entire careers off of streaming, 1 or 2 games. It's just games are, it's so much more than it was when, we were kids playing Nintendo and Sega and all that. Many users have been sharing their personal Steam year in review stats on Twitter/X. I can still call it Twitter. It's still Twitter to me. The new analytics system compares individual stats to those of the average Steam user. It gives a Steam median score for the number of achievements unlocked, number of games played, and the longest streak number of days, et cetera, et cetera. The data revealed some surprising facts about users' gaming habits. Despite the large number of titles available on Steam, the average user only plays 4 games a year. Furthermore, only 9% of the games that the average Steam gamer played this year were released in 2023. Wow. Okay, so here are the most played games. Again, I think that we did have Starfield on the list for some people, but yeah, Counter-Strike, Dota, PUBG, Apex, Grand Theft Auto 5, people are still playing that. Baldur's Gate 3, that was released this year. Team Fortress 2 has been around a long time, 10 years, 12 years. Lethal Company, that just came out this year. Taking a closer look at the stats using SteamDB's concurrent Steam users chart reveals that although some gamers are playing new releases like the Finals and Baldur's Gate 3, most of the top ranking games were released before 2023. Looking at Steam's weekly top sellers reveals that most of the best-selling games from the past week were released before 2023. The stats regarding the release dates of games played by the average Steam user shows that 38% were released over 7 years ago. 52% were released between 1 to 7 years ago, and only 9% were released in 2023. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but it rings true because I'm sitting here thinking about what I play, what my friends play, and a lot of it is older stuff. A lot of people, they pick a game or two, especially on PC. It's different than console, and you pick a game and you play that game or a couple other games. And you play them for years. Seems game developers are also noticing these Steam player trends. In a recent interview with the Like a Dragon series creator, they commented that few Steam users play games on the day of release, but when they do get around to playing, they tend to invest lots of time in games, whether they're AAA or indie titles. With a yearly average of only 4 games played, it seems that Steam users prefer to take their time to play through their back catalogs. That's true. A lot of times people will buy games on sale and they'll sit on them for a while, or the game's just not worth the time yet. And it could be. I mean, I'm going to be honest. As much as we've been dunking on Starfield, it could be that the game is just not there yet, and it might get there. Now, that being said, that we're just talking Steam. We're not talking Xbox. We're not talking Game Pass. I'm sure it's successful there, I guess. I don't know. You just have to believe what they say because they spend a lot of money on it, and they're going to tell you it's successful. But everything I've heard is people think it's boring. Maybe they'll dip back in a year or two if they fix some of the stuff, and it's worth playing. I don't think people are tuning out necessarily because of the pronouns thing or whatever. I think it's just they're bored. They're bored. So I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. Thanks for watching. If you like this content and want to see more, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And check out more videos on the channel, including Let's Plays and art and animation videos here on Clownfish Gaming.
Now he's just tasty, delicious, rotten flesh meat, which I can consume. Don't read into it too much.
Just like our museum, the cafe's open and Brewster is eager to serve. I don't think this was in the show. Run. Oh, you got splatted.
No. Wait,
oh, she was begging and you kicked her in the face.
I don't care.
Hey guys, Squid King here, and today we're in a...
Not girl boss at all. She is not a material girl.
She is not. Oh, it's Christmas time here in your mom. Nobody wants to join your mom.
What?
Like, I can't even cook kid cuisine right. I would last about 2 minutes with Gordon Ramsay.
What? Where is he?
He's hiding. He's hiding from you.
Better.
Oh my God, you got the axe.
Walker, does this look like Steven Universe? Let me punch him! Well, I'm just here for the wax. Right where you belong.
Get in the dirt.
Well, that was a combination of events I probably shouldn't have put together. Anyways, let's open this bottle, too.
Chica Pinata. Is that official?
Oh, no.
There's a bootleg.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Diamond Tool.
Let's make a farm.
Like and subscribe and buy my merch.
I mean, while you're here, you guys should like really like and subscribe and buy our merch, all of which we have.
That is true. You can't run them carrying trash. You can get away with one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
I wish I'd known that sooner.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this effer up.
Yes.